let's say y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So to find x-intercepts is when y equals 0. So this means that ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now to solve this quadratic equation, we use the rule x is equal to negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Of course, we can write like this: x is equal to negative b plus minus square root of delta all over 2a. Now delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac. So this is called discriminant. So therefore, you please remember that the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So this is important. So discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Now, let's say if discriminant is equal to 0, so the equation is x is equal to negative b plus minus square root of discriminant all over 2a. Now, because discriminant equals 0, so the equation be like this. So negative b plus minus square root of 0 all over 2a. Of course, square root 0 is equal to 0. So the answer is x is equal to negative b over 2a, because plus 0 and minus 0 is the same. So the answer is negative b over 2a. This means that the graph will look like this, because you have only one solution. So only touch the x once. So when a is positive, the graph is look like this. When a is negative, the graph is look like this. So which is, again, okay, it's cut the axis once, or we can call one real root, or two equal roots. Now, when discriminant equals 0, you will have one real root or two equal roots. Now, why two equal root? Let's say this equation here, this one here, let's say x minus 2 all square is equal to 0. So this means that x minus 2 square, not square, I expand this out, it means like x minus 2 as well equal to 0. This means that x minus 2 equals 0, or x is equal to, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So this means x equal to 2 or x equal to 2. See, they are the same. So we can say one real root or two equal roots. So when you have one real root or two equal roots, this means that discriminant equals 0. So what happens when discriminant is greater than 0? So this equation here, negative b plus minus square root of discriminant all over 2a, this means that this quadratic equation here will have two real roots or two unequal roots. So keep that in mind, okay? So when discriminant greater than 0, you will have two real roots or two unequal roots. So the graph will look like this for a is positive. So you have two x-intercept here, see? So we have two different roots or two unequal roots. And this one here, so when xi is negative, the graph go upside down. So you have one solution here, another solution here. So we call two unequal roots. Now, what happened is when discriminant is less than 0. So when the discriminant less than 0, so this equation here, it will not exist. It doesn't work. You know why? Because you cannot square root a negative number. So let me bring this up. So because discriminant less than 0, let's say square root of a negative number because it's less than 0. So let's say minus 6. See, math error. So it's undefined, if you like. So minus 7, for example. See, you cannot square root a negative number unless you deal with complex number. So therefore, if discriminant less than 0, the quadratic equation here is no real roots. In another word, the graph will be look like this. when a is positive. So you can see the whole graph is above 0. So the whole function, if you like. So this means that we can say this is positive definite. So when the function is positive definite, it means the discriminant less than 0. Or if a is less than 0, the graph will look like this. So we call this is negative definite. So therefore, please keep that in mind. So when there is no real roots or positive definite or negative definite, the discriminant will be less than 0. Thank you so much for watching.